Welcome to a quick start tutorial for the Spline controller tool. This tool allows a user to create either a linear or curved path for a target entity to follow as demonstrated in this video. You will notice that there are waypoints laid on the tracks that have 4 red line segments connecting them together. These are used to create a curved path for the minecart to follow. This tool will allow us to control the speed to simulate the minecart moving on the track. The fastest approach to quickly learn this tool is to deconstruct the minecart track and start creating a new track. Go ahead and start configuring a new track. Don't worry about the waypoints and the properties in the panel. Just reconstruct the track to be different. Don't spend too much time on this, because we're going to reconstruct the track once more towards the end of this video to highlight some features. After the track has been reconstructed, select the Spline controller tool in the hierarchy. Using the drop-down, we'll figure out the number of waypoints that are still on the track and figure out the next waypoint number that needs to be added onto the track. This will help us determine our waypoint limit found in the Properties panel. Next, we'll copy the position of a waypoint on the current track and use that to reset the next waypoint back onto the track. You can paste the position on several stray waypoints and then work on position a group instead of doing this process one at a time. After the new track has a sufficient amount of waypoints added, determine the last waypoint on your track and set the limit. Notice that our waypoints start with 0, therefore subtract 1 to get the total count. Next, we'll turn on the world sim. If the waypoint limit is set right, the red line will terminate at the last waypoint. Congratulations! You have applied the Spawn controller tool to the minecart public asset. Now let's update the speed in the Properties panel located under our Spline controller script section. You will see that setting the speed from 5 to 2 slows down the minecart considerably, so use good judgment when setting the speed properties. Remember when I said that we will reconstruct the track? Now is the time to do so. You want to construct the track such that it is continuous. This will allow us to use our loop feature in the Properties panel. Although I've already set the height offset for the minecart to align to this track, please keep in mind to adjust the target entity and not the waypoints in line render. These need to be visible and should sit on a track or rail system. Take time to check the height offset by turning on the world sim. Since we have reconstructed our track, we'll need to align our waypoints back onto the track and build out our new curved spline so that our target entity, which is the minecart, has a path to follow. Make sure to update the waypoint limit in the Properties panel. The minecart can travel to the last waypoint limit that is set and will not go any further. As demonstrated here, the cart will terminate at the waypoint limit. To resolve this, just count up the number of waypoints or find the last waypoint in the hierarchy that is in sequential order and update the limit. Once the limit is updated, the minecart should continue on to the last waypoint and stop. You will notice that there is a first and last waypoint in this scenario. However, the track is continuous and this doesn't support good simulation logic. Therefore, under the speed input is a toggle to turn on loop, which will connect a path from the last waypoint back to the first waypoint to support continuous simulation logic for continuous track or rail systems. Here is a demonstration of using the loop logic to create a continuous track behavior. Notice that the red line or spline feature does not terminate when using the loop feature. This tool has been tested on both the roller coaster and minecart public assets. Something to watch out for while using this tool is to make sure to use the first 4 waypoints. You might find if the limit is set to 3 that the lines will remain linear, although curved is selected in the properties. This will change into a curve once there is 4 or more. The formula used 4 points to determine the curvature of a path. Keep this in mind.